We're the voices of experiencers, and we are the experiencers of extraterrestrials. Just what's out there in the abyss, in the darkness of the unknown. It's time for disclosure and it's time for truth, because what lies in the darkness brings powerful transformation. We're the bridge between two different worlds, with one foot in this reality and one in the next. The shift is here, along with profound integration. Just who are extraterrestrials and what are their plans? It's time to find out with the Voices of Contact.
We are the voices of experiencers because we are the experiencers. It's time for disclosure and it's time for truth, because truth brings powerful transformation, and we are the voices of change. We are all about evolution on an expansive level, living life without fear and becoming the bridge between two different realities. Profound evolution is here. Profound integration is here. This is the Voices of Contact. Hi, everyone. I'm Mary. I'm a channeler and psychic medium. I'm also a hypnosis regressionist for ET experiencers, and I work with MUFON doing regression work. I also work with PTSD experiencers, paranormal experiencers, and victims of crime to assist them in recall. I'm really looking forward to another amazing show with our panel tonight, where we delve deep to find out what's happening beyond the stars. Thank you all for joining us as we take an extensive dive into the whole new reality. There is so much more out there than we realize, and until now, we have only scratched the surface. Come with us as we explore the darkness of the universe and shed some light on the extraterrestrial experience. Disclosure is here. Now, allow me to introduce some of my most favorite people who are part of tonight's panel. First, there's Deb and RJ DeRoos. They're authors, paranormal and UFO researchers, and they're experiencers themselves. They're founders of the Michigan UFO Contact that happens every year in Houghton Lake, Michigan at the end of September. And they're also owners and managers of Mystical Awakenings Radio, Mystical Awakenings Vodcast on YouTube, and of the Mystical Awakenings Metaphysical Store in Houghton Lake, Michigan. Next, we have Deb Jordan Cobble, aka Deb 2. She was the central figure in Bud Hopkins' international bestseller, Intruders, The Incredible Visitations at Copley Woods, which was made actually into a CBS miniseries in 1992. She's co-author of the book Abducted, The Story of the Intruders Continues, and author of Extraordinary Contact, Life Beyond Intruders. She's a former Indiana MUFON investigator and co-founder of her own paranormal group, Paranormal Underground. And she also hosts the Midwest Paratalk podcast with co-founder Greg Cable. And then we have Dana Stricker. She's a born psychic medium, and she has been reading professionally since the age of 15. And while she excels in her psychic and mediumship ability, Dana is also known for her exceptional skills in remote readings. And she's also known and very well established as a medical intuitive. She has also discovered that extraterrestrials now assist her with this special ability. She reads professionally worldwide and has worked nationwide on numerous missing person cases. With the amazing panel that we have tonight, I know that anything is possible and that we are going to get deep down into discovery and find answers to what is really going on out there. This show is all about transmutating the light from the dark and replacing fear with knowledge, because with knowledge comes true power. And through my regression work, I've come across amazing cases with fascinating clients, and it is my honor to work with them to help them have a better understanding of the contact they've had. Whether they were taken, have had contact in the physical realm, or through a dream state, we're here just to find answers. I'm blessed that my clients have agreed to allow me to use the regressions on the Voices of Contact. And tonight, this is the place to be, because the panel breaks down my clients' experiences, providing powerful feedback. And I love it because all the listeners get to connect and learn. I get to learn, and the person that was regressed walks away even more immersed in their experience with a whole new perspective on their contact. So literally, it's a win-win, right? This is the Voices of Contact. Hi, you guys.
Hi. Hi, Dov. Hi, Dana.
Good to see your faces again.
Yeah. It is good to see everybody.
How was everybody's week?
Just
Short.
taboo.
Busy.
Yep, busy.
It's that time of year,
Usually.
short and busy.
Yep.
Yeah, it is.
But we love it. Something wrong with us.
Yeah, I think that sometimes. I would, not being busy, I would probably, I would just get stir crazy and bored.
Yep.
Yeah.
You gotta stay busy.
I complain about it, but at the same time, if I had to sit and look at four walls,
Yep, you'd go find something to do.
I'd be climbing them, cleaning them. Well, that wouldn't be a bad thing. My walls could use some cleaning, but yeah, I'd have to go find something to do. For sure.
So this week's episode picks up where we left off on last week's episode. So just give a little refresher. It was a woman who wanted to explore a near-death experience that she'd had. And when she was crossing over to the light, they sent her back and they wouldn't let her cross. And then she made a connection with little Grays, who took her somewhere to show her that one of her reasons for contact was for breeding, and that their goal was to take the best parts of people to create more of a species, because the intention will be to save Earth. So we kind of start there, and we pick up where we left off, because we talk more about the breeding itself and like what happens after it's done.
And I can tell you that's in a nutshell. So if you want to listen to it, all in more detail, you can go back and listen to that. So
Yeah, there was a lot there. It was
Yeah.
very emotional.
There was a
So
lot.
if anybody missed last week's, it's just a good forewarning. It'll be episode 92, that if you missed last week's and you choose to watch it, it's very emotional, it's very intense, and it's very raw. So just be prepared for that.
a lot of information.
Yep. All right, so let's start this first clip.
So tell me what happens after the breeding is done. Where do you go next?
Home
And where's home?
right now.
So you went
It
back.
looks like I'm still in Florida.
Okay.
It looks like I'm still living there. And they want me to go back and not know what they're doing.
Is that when you go back to your body?
Yes. That's when I'm in the hospital again.
And so you woke back, that's when you woke up in the hospital?
Yes.
Okay. So let's drift and float away from that scene. Okay. And we're drifting and we're floating away from that scene. And we're going to go to a time in 2023 when you had an out-of-body experience. And you're there now. I'd like you to look around and tell me what's happening.
There's another spirit with me.
Does it feel male or female?
Male.
Is it familiar?
Not before now. I don't remember meeting him or anything. I can only see his light body. His light body is blue.
Okay. What else can you describe about him to me?
He's slightly bigger than I am. But we hug, and it's the best feeling I've ever had in my whole life. I feel so much better.
Ask him for me who he is.
Who are you? Tell me the truth. You won't tell me.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I know somewhere else in my head, but I can't get it out. I think maybe they just won't let me say.
Okay, so we'll ask that question when we tap into your galactic family, okay? What happens next?
We're embracing like we love each other, we always have. And there's others around me, many colors of light, many other beings of light, all colors. They're beautiful, but it's like they're trying to snatch something. They start pulling on me.
Ask them what they're doing.
What do you want? What are you doing? What are you?
What kind of beings are with her? Like, are they grays? Are they different ones?
She doesn't really describe them itself because she sees them as different colors of light.
So she doesn't actually see.
No. All she says about the one is she just sees them as a blue light.
Okay.
That's taller than she is.
Is this the same period of time as last week's video during her near-death experience?
A couple of years later, she was very specific about the year on this one. It was 2023.
So she had another near-death experience?
She's had a couple, actually.
Okay.
This one was just more of an out-of-body, so it sounded to me more like astral travel.
Yeah. Okay. So it wasn't under the.
So she may not have been aware that it was an experience.
Mm-hmm.
But I strongly feel that she does know well who that blue light is.
Probably. And, is it possible that she's attributing the light instead of what she's actually seeing as a coping type thing?
I think so.
I really think it's like an energetic, like a blue light that is telling her these things.
Right. Well, our soul, consciousness, whatever, is going to be.
Or is she masking it because it's too much? Because she has a lot of trauma with it,
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe it's easy for her to.
Yeah. It was funny when you ask who it is. She says, "Tell the truth." Yeah,
it's like she already knew he was gonna pull a fast one.
Yeah, non-trusting for sure.
Like she already knew him. But when I think about it energetically, it takes me back to a memory that I have of, again, it was a waking. It was a lucid moment during my walk in the nature where I had that voice speak to me, and it told me that where he's at, he sees me as light.
Yeah.
He sees me as just a ball of light. But and he says, and I'm brighter than some, and he more noticeable. But he says, where you are, when you see me, I'm just a white light, a ball of
Well,
light.
okay.
And then he says, but where I'm at, I look just like you.
Oh,
You know?
okay.
I mean, so that's where my mind went to when she was saying
Mhm.
that. She's seeing these different colors of light where these
Yeah.
beings are. But
Because that's how they appear.
maybe that's just the part of them that's visible to her wherever it is she's at.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? But
That-
she recognizes them from maybe a past experience with them and remembers subconsciously somehow that she connects certain colors with certain beings, some that she's not fond of, like
Right.
Dana
Right.
and her.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So maybe it's some situation kind of like that. I mean, I know that's a
Mhm.
little more
Yeah.
complicated, but that's just how my brain works.
No, it actually makes a lot of sense. So maybe that is the way that some of that's just how we're seen.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think that's what we are. We are light, we are
But
light.
in other cases, we're seeing things.
Yeah.
It just depends on, I think maybe the circumstances and what they want you to see or what you're capable of seeing at that
Right.
time.
Right.
Different vibrations are happening around
Mhm.
you that may interfere with your vibration. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
You know, because everything's vibrating.
Yeah, I feel like the blue one's her son.
With or without batteries.
Yeah, and I think the
Oh
blue
my
ones. I didn't say it. I didn't say it.
I couldn't. It's Dana's
There
fault.
you
I saw the look at her face.
But
Sorry.
I mean, like I would think this is my own opinion, but maybe like blue and white and maybe even like purples maybe are vibrating higher or
Yeah.
quicker,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then maybe golds and
Red.
greens somewhere in the middle, reds maybe lower. I don't
Right,
know.
right,
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
That's
That's-
exactly what you're talking about. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
exactly that way. Yep. The lower colors, the red, the yellow, orange are lower vibrations, and the green and the blue and the purples are higher. Yeah. Yep.
just to throwing some thoughts out that way.
Throwing it out there.
Food for thought.
That's interesting.
I read this Carlos Castaneda books probably 10 times, all of them. But in the books, he taught Carlos how to see humans as luminous eggs, or a luminous egg. And
All this
Yeah.
work I put into staying young, and I'm seen as an egg from somewhere.
well, it's egg shaped, the light, it's egg shaped. And so he taught him how to see people like that, and then kind of seeing their aura, what it really was. But,
Yeah, because that's.
and we have different
Yeah,
colors.
right?
We have different colors, yeah. Depending on how we're vibrating, like Deb said, what level we're on, the level of what frequency we were vibrating at.
And I think that maybe sometimes that even changes for each individual from
Yeah.
like I might be vibrating
Yeah.
really high one day because I'm all jacked up and being all pumped up, and then another day I might feel like poop on a stick and I might be vibrating
Wow.
lower. I may be projecting a different color. Well,
Yeah.
Can you believe that's even something I have also said?
I
There's
know.
something
Get out of
very
my
wrong
head.
going on here.
There's weird. You're weird.
That
Stay
was
out of my
from
head.
childhood. I've used poop on a
I know.
stick.
Me too.
I feel like poop on a stick. Seriously.
I know. Me too.
I'll probably a vibrating brown light. That's right.
What-
Ay.
There's something wrong with both of us. Let's just face it. I'm sorry.
But I feel bad for this person because she's
I
so
know.
traumatized by.
I know, and here I'm
every
acting
thing
stupid.
She's really
Holy.
emotional. She's really been through the ringer with this.
I use laughter as a form of
That's me.
self-medication.
Of course it's
when
me.
I'm anxious, I tend to giggle. Don't ever
Covering
take me anywhere. So don't take me anywhere serious. I'm just
No.
Only on the Voices of Content.
Right.
I deal with everything with humor.
Me too. Stop
Can't
it.
help it. It's a coping mechanism.
Mhm.
But she's like super traumatized. So like how long was she contending with, was she having memories? Did she not know why she had these things? Was
I
it the
think-
regression?
I think she
out, or-
had memories of them. A lot of the trauma came from just so many different experiences that seemed bad to her. So
Mhm.
it's hard for her to know what to trust and what not to trust. Is this going to be a good experience for me, or is this going to be, one more trauma to add to my belt?
Well, I would be terrified every single time, probably. If you think about it. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess it depends on
Where
what-
you might get yourself worked up just because it's happening again, where that's going to make everything more too.
Mhm. Well, when she saw that ship last week, man, God, she was in a panic. I thought she was going to hyperventilate right during the regression. She did.
Yeah. I feel bad for her though. That's a lot to carry.
Yeah.
And so for this next clip, we talk about the other beings that are there and what they're doing.
They're laughing. They're laughing. They're watching like voyeurs, like something shouldn't be private, like they should get to watch.
Okay. So they're watching you and the man in the blue light.
Yeah.
Do you know where you are?
We're like light bodies in a white field right now,
Okay.
like the sky or something, I can't tell. Everything else is space. It's just us there.
Ask him why he's there with you.
He won't tell me anything. He won't tell me anything.
Okay, and so what happens next?
I'm aware of them, and so they scatter.
Well, when they realize that they're there.
They know I'm there. They know I'm awake. And they know they're doing something they're not supposed to do.
What are they doing?
Sipping on me.
What do you mean by sipping on you?
They're drinking my life.
So they're like attached to your energy?
They're eating my light. They're trying to make me small. They're trying to cut me off or hurt me or something. They don't want me to exist.
Wow.
Who are those nasty things?
And this is why I think she has a bigger mission than she realizes, because she has, things out there that are trying to
Stop her.
keep her down.
Yeah.
Drink her life force. Hello.
Yeah, and
Don't make
eat her
Bruce
light.
that.
Eat her
Uh-uh.
light.
Yeah.
No. That'll take some convincing on y'all's part to get me to say that any part of that is positive. Sorry.
Well,
These are lower and fourth dimensional beings
yeah.
that they're doing that.
Archons are an entity of their own. They're not ETs. I mean, they can be anywhere, but they're just a fourth level being that likes to eat us.
The story goes that
All energy.
they got created before us. They don't have the ability to create, so they have to use us to do their creation. They have to use us to feel like they're living. They have to, and the negative energy is what they really, really, really like.
May I just throw into the conversation that I was living okay and happy for the most part before I knew this.
Right.
They could be anywhere and they're walking around with a straw just looking to stick it in me somewhere. No, thank you.
Lord have mercy.
Like a big old orange juice.
Yeah.
That's
Yes. Remember
a
that
metaphor,
commercial?
but
Yes.
that's a metaphor. But anyway, that's kind of like, explaining it. But yeah, I mean, but the thing of it is, they like, especially how they do it, as I was telling Deb, in your dreams, they'll have you have a nightmare. And when you do have a nightmare, you're just, you're just sitting there, all that negative energy is coming out. And they just like, ooh, they got the straws going, man. They're sucking that out. And they love it. And you finally, you got
That's
enough,
my problem.
Yeah. And they got enough. I mean, I've got to the point where I saw them in my dreams. I was in a group of people and I said, oh, there you are. And they got pissed. And I woke up. And then at one time, when I saw them, they actually were growling and really mad and coming after me. And somebody said, now you've really pissed them off. So I had to come out of it because they were after me. And, they look just like normal people in your dream, but they're waiting to latch on you to have you have a nightmare. So that negative energy comes. Now, sometimes they get me, and I got to the point where I said, yeah, last night you got me. You got my energy.
I know people like this that you're describing that are
Yeah.
people that I know that are like that.
Yep. And like when you go out, if you drink, you're all in your hungover and you're drunk on your ass and you're in bed, they can get you, and you don't even know they're there because you're not aware, and so they can get you. But I can tell you, there was a moment there for about a year and a half. I got to the point where I could see them. It was about the year after we met, and I would
Deb brought up.
Yeah, they and they got
we
mad.
were attacked.
They got mad.
Quite
yeah, we were attacked heavily. And they got mad, and so I would just wake up smiling. Hey, I got you.
This is not a plug, but our very first book that we published before we were married was Defeating the Archons, a Twin Soul Mission.
Yeah. Because at the time when we met, Archons, the information was coming out big time. And like I said, supposedly whoever has been working on getting them out of this dimension, out of this area, out of this planet. I mean, I'm sure they didn't get them all, but obviously, so.
Well, that could possibly be a good book for her to check into.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
To see if she connects with any of it.
I feel so bad for this person.
Mm-hmm. I know. Yeah.
Well, didn't you notice that she got a little calmer? She seemed a little calmer for a second, and then she was like, well, I think she felt good around this blue bean, whatever it is. But then, she's like, they're watching me. They're waiting for my energy. They're waiting for us to have a good thing going on or something bad to happen so they can take the straw and suck my light out. My light, she said. Didn't say light, but she said light.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They don't like light workers too well.
So I think it's good to realize that, like you said, we're not talking extraterrestrials here. These kind of beings. We're talking about an interdimensional being that exists, but I think we have some extraterrestrials trying to help her. The little grays. Yeah, maybe that's trying to help her. So
these guys.
She's got her flashing her alien.
So that might be the case here. That maybe that she's getting help from her star people or whatever. Her star friends, because these negative archons do not want her to fulfill her mission, because it means bye-bye to them. The less negative energy we have around,
right?
They have no food. They don't exist.
They truly can't exist.
Yeah.
If everything is positive, they can't exist.
That's right.
So that's a big threat to them. So people like us, light workers, light is
they don't want light. Yeah, they live in a dark, opaque world.
All right, so this next clip is kind of a continuation of the experience from the last clip.
Can you describe it all, what they look like past the light?
No. Just light. light colors of bodies. Some are like reds and oranges, others are blue, yellow and white. It's like a rainbow of spirits. But they're not supposed to be there.
So you're being shown the negative ones that try to attach to you?
Maybe, because they're not supposed to be there. They know they're not supposed to be there. They think it's funny.
Okay, and so what happens next?
I notice that they're seeing me and they're watching us like it's all a big game. So I leave.
And where do you go when you leave?
Go back to my body.
And go back to your body?
Go back to my body.
I don't blame her. I go back to my body too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm a little bit confused now because she's saying the different color lights, and when she said red and orange, it's like what Deb said, that's a little lower vibrational. But then she's seeing the blues and the whites. I thought, well, what are they doing there? Unless there's also helpers in there helping her.
Mm-hmm.
Might be keeping the other ones at bay.
Right,
Yeah.
or trying to.
Yeah.
Or is it the, like an, again, possible archon, just making her see?
Yeah, they can do that. They can make you see.
Oh, look, we're beautiful. We're all these different colors of the rainbow.
Well, that was the first thing I thought of when she was talking about, all these, different beings of color. It automatically went to my mind, well, that's a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
But
right.
Not necessarily.
Yeah.
So it could be they were tricking her into trusting them.
Yeah.
Yeah. And hence why she trusts none of them.
Yeah. Right.
For good reason.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
And I know I've said this before on one of our shows. I encourage our audience to look up archons and how they can find out about
Yeah, I
They
think I'm going to look into those a little bit more too.
Mm-hmm.
They definitely influence us and have influenced us.
Right. And that's, that's why we did the book, because it's something that really a lot of people don't know about or talk about.
Yeah.
Energy vampires.
Yeah, energy vampire. And the important thing is to know that they don't have power over you unless you give it to them. And the ways to not have them suck your light and your life out of you, your light energy, your good energy, is just to confront them and say, "Listen,
Don't be afraid of them."
No, don't be afraid.
Fear is their friend.
That's what they like to eat.
Fear lowers our energy.
Even when I was young, I was aware of something around me because I would dance around in my living room when I was cleaning and I had my music on and I was happy. I would dance and I would like dance all around. And I mean, I was just like full of the music and just free, and my energy was just rampant. And all of a sudden, I would get a sense of somebody over in a corner like this, with that kind of Cheshire grin. I could almost see him kind of going like that, and it would startle me, and then I'd be like, "Go away, I ain't got time for you," and it would stop. It would go away, and I wouldn't feel it anymore because I just didn't tolerate it. I said, "Go away, I'm not afraid of you."
Right, and that's the perfect thing. You were in that higher vibrational state, and then standing your ground, being firm.
That's just me. But I mean, I've done that.
Oh yeah, I've done that too. Yeah, you know they're there. You turn around and say, "Get the hell out of here!
Ain't nobody got time for your mess. Move along down the road."
Right.
You know what I mean? And they're like,
I went brain dead. What's the Bible that our friends are in? Gnostic Bible.
The Gnostic Bible.
So if you go back and you read the original Gnostic Bible,
they're mentioned in there.
They are talked about.
And they were accidentally created, and the person who did it kind of got ousted from the higher beings.
Yeah, I believe Rosemary Ellen Guiley put out some
Yeah, we were talking to her
information
about it
as well. Yeah.
So,
We talked about her the other night, Deb.
Yes, we did.
remember Sophia? You heard that name? Sophia was the one that supposedly was the avatar who was responsible for creating this area here, and she kind of got a little egotistic about it, and voila, Archon's got created. So kind of that kind of story. But it's in the Bible, that Gnostic Bible, yeah.
You're talking to the wrong girl about Bibles.
Well, it's the Gnostic one, isn't the
Very different.
Yeah, very different.
Very different.
Yeah, very different.
I still wouldn't know it.
Okay. Well,
I could look into it, but that's
Yeah.
not something I'm very familiar with.
It's actually
My
kind of
son,
enjoyable.
my son could tell me stuff about the Bible, but
yeah, this has got different stuff.
not
It's
well
a little-
versed.
It's a little different take on it.
Very interesting, quite enjoyable.
So for this next one, she moves into a different experience. And in this experience, kind of took off odd because it wasn't something that she had asked to explore. So I just think it's where she moved to next, in a sense. So in this part, she talks about helicopters that are around her house and how a black vehicle pulls up to her house, and out steps a man, puts her in the vehicle, and then he takes her somewhere.
Oh,
And there's an image of someone in a helicopter pulling into around my house, and a black sedan or SUV, something big, pulls into my driveway, and a man gets out, and he picks me up, and he puts me inside the vehicle.
What does the man look like?
It's just a white guy with glasses, sunglasses.
Do you notice anything else?
He's tall. I think he's wearing a hat. He's wearing a hat. Or his hair is very short.
Okay, and so what happens next?
We walk through the woods. The man from the vehicle. We walk through the woods, and we're happy.
Is this where he took you after he put you in his vehicle?
Yes,
Are the woods familiar?
yes.
How are they familiar to you?
They feel like home.
Can you ask him where you are?
He says, "This is my house.
That's
This is our house. My house, our house."
Our house. Okay. And where is it at?
I can't tell. It feels familiar, but it's not. It's a trail.
Okay.
I say if I know it won't work.
So it's something you're not allowed to know yet?
They say if I know it won't work. They're trying to protect me.
So the man is trying to protect you?
Uh-huh. He wants to get me. He wants to save me. But if I know, it won't work.
Okay. So now we're going to drift and float away from that scene. And we're going to leave that part of you to continue on that journey and to find peace. And there you will find what you're supposed to find.
what the hell?
Man, this thing takes all kinds of twists and turns.
I know. I'm sitting over here like,
Whiplash. What?
So
Yeah.
do we have a
Drugs.
nice Men in Black? Here?
Yeah, that's the thing. I'm, classic Men in Black,
Yeah.
but he's trying to save her. And then we are running through the woods where it's safe. Who's we? Is she still with this blue being?
This is a new experience, so it's
The guy in the sedan, right?
yep.
Yeah.
That's where he took her.
Oh,
And I feel like she's talking about her mission, that she's not allowed to know where she's at, and she's not allowed to know what the mission is because it won't work if she knows. So I think this is important, piece of information for her to help her understand that she's being protected and that she has to have trust in them. And I think that's the hardest part for her is to allow herself to trust after all the different trauma she's been through.
Dana, do you like that scenario? The fact that you're not supposed to know because it'll ruin the mission.
No,
I don't either. Why?
I don't like being dictated. I know you all find that shocking. I don't like. I've said it 1,000 times on the show. Is just say it. Quit dancing around.
Yeah, I mean,
It drives me insane.
Okay, Mary, you have to explain to us why would that be? Why would if she knew? Why would that blow the mission?
I don't know. Sometimes if you know information, you can change your destiny.
But that's
yep. It's the same reason I tell people when they come and sit down for a reading, I don't predict. So often people come in and they want to know, when am I going to meet Mr. Right? And I tell
That's my
them
next job.
October 17th on the corner of 8th and Division. In 2 years, everything they're supposed to go through for the next 2 years isn't going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's their focus. The end of the journey, or that point. They're not going to go through 3 other relationships that they're supposed to go through to learn some lessons before doing that. Do we know why? That looks like a bird. What is that?
That's a chain.
Oh, sorry.
So, like in numerology, if I can figure out what year they're going into, some years are better for relationships. I can tell you maybe this year you might have a chance to have a relationship. Easier? I don't know.
Do yourself a favor, stay single, folks.
So what you got to tell them?
Okay.
But anyway.
Yeah. I mean,
No, it's not what I tell
Yes,
her.
we would like to know.
That's good advice.
We would like to know, but sometimes, in some cases, maybe it really isn't the best thing.
I'm going to agree with you for the sake of it, but if you're asking me directly my own personal thing on that, I don't even know who these things are.
Right.
What their end game is. So again, that's my suspicious mind coming out here.
Yeah.
Don't start singing Elvis, RJ.
But it's hard to tell her.
Okay,
I
get
was
out of my
singing it.
head. I was singing it in my head too.
See, I must be
But it's
psychic.
hard to tell her trust the mission
when she doesn't know that really the mission.
We're all saying,
that's
don't
the part
trust.
that I want to know that before I yeah, you're right. I don't need to know whatever. But it feels like manipulation to me, and I can't help that. And I don't think it's all of the time. I think some of these things I heard feels an awful lot like some sort of manipulation. That's me.
I like you to see that show. In Time, Grasshopper, In Time.
Yeah, I know. I need to soften up my I'm not skeptic of the fact that it's happened.
Yeah.
Let's make that very clear here. I believe these things.
I'm
Don't believe they're all good. They're not all kumbaya.
Right.
Well,
and that's I want to make sure that we understand that possibility is definitely there.
I mean, we're supposed to be all unified, and that's supposed to make everything great, and we're all supposed to do come together and this and that. But I still think, just like here on Earth, wherever they're coming from, there's always going to be a faction that doesn't want that to happen.
Yeah.
And they've got tricks as well as the other side. So who are you really with?
Yeah.
That's the part that bothers me.
Yeah.
I'm a battle axe.
But the important thing is to know that you have control.
And
regardless.
this is kind of a balance thing.
Maybe
stay in light,
if
keep
and
your
when I get
vibrations up.
regressed, this will explain why I'm like this. Maybe I got jerked around or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we need that regression soon, Dana.
Yeah.
She's biting.
That's
Mary's up
definitely
there
good.
chuckling, and I can feel her eyes burning into my head. I cannot wait to regress you.
So how long have you been a mantis?
Yeah, you know what? It's probably going to be karma because I'm probably like this mantis with a little brown robe trying to hide my segmented body.
And that's okay. We'll accept it.
Okay. For this last clip, we talk about how, and this is my biggest question. So it talks about how this being is trying to, or this person is trying to protect her so that she can complete her mission. Because if she knows what the plan is, it's not going to work out the way it's supposed to. And it is a part that I cut off. Like, if she knows there's certain things that might come after her and try to take her life.
So the first thing that I would like to do is I channeled Galactic Family, and they gave me some things to talk about and questions to ask. May I pull through Galactic Family that takes care of her?
Yes, please.
Okay, and so I'm pulling them through now. Are they here with me?
I feel their hands on me.
Okay, so the first question and thing they showed me is 3 crafts, 3 ships in the sky, and they were all silver. What were these crafts?
I don't know the answer to that, other than crafts of our brothers.
The crafts of their brothers? Okay, and why are they so important for?
Because they need me. They need me. They miss me. I thought I was looking for them, but they're looking for me.
They're looking for you?
They want to take me away from the bad people before they can hurt any more of us. They want to save us.
When you say us, who are you referring to?
I'm not alone. The other people from the ships, the other women, they know who we are.
It's mostly women?
I only know the women. They keep tabs on us because of the eggs.
Because of the eggs?
Yeah.
Are these connected to the little gray beans that you saw in the regression part?
They seem harmless. They're like our friends. They're not the ones who hurt us. They just do their not the ones.
So I thought.
So who is?
What?
Yeah. Who
Well,
is?
Mm-hmm.
So again, I'm going back to that. These extraterrestrials are trying to do this program to better the life for the future, but these archons keep stepping in, and they're trying to tell them no, you can't do this, and yeah,
If
these
we're
three.
sure it's an archon doing it.
Well, something like that. Lower being, lower fourth dimensional beings. They call them.
Yeah, if they're feeding off of our energy, they're a lower being.
Mm-hmm.
These 3 ships keep sailing, keep
Oh,
sailing.
my Lord.
And the more they can instill that fear, the more they keep the vibration down and control everyone.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So then there's 3 ships of brothers. I mean,
Yeah, because when I was
Like-minded.
channeling, they showed me 3 ships that were silver. So I found it very interesting. And last week's regression, when all of a sudden she saw something that turned into a craft and it was silver.
So
So I think at this point she's getting some validation and confirmation that she didn't need to be afraid of that craft when she saw it. She didn't need to be afraid to go on it because what was on it was those white beings.
right.
And these are family members and, friends that are actually a part of her and are looking for her and watching her because they want to protect her.
And she sounds like she misses the hell out of it.
Yeah. I again, she sounds extremely distraught
Yes.
and stressed out and traumatized, and none of that's pleasant to me.
No.
right. Right.
I mean, is she like this in her everyday life? And if this is going on in her head and her body and her spirit, man, she needs just
She needs a lot of healing.
yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
At least she's getting some of that out during those regressions, though.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's a benefit right there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Some
it
of
is.
that is getting out instead of being inside like
Mhm.
that.
Yeah, boy, is she.
Right. But if she's been,
Feels better when she's done.
with that kind of a bright light that she has
Mm.
and being attacked the way she has been, if these are archons, also known as demons and things like that, they will. I mean, it's like they eat away at everything that's good. They're sucking that light out, sucking the life out, trying to keep you in that lower state.
Yeah.
You read about
That fearful state.
possession and things like that. Kind of goes hand in hand. So yeah, they can wreak havoc on lives. You're right. She needs a lot of healing, a lot of love, and the realization that she can stop this. She is here on a mission, and that mission is love and light.
And then she's not alone. Everybody,
And
a lot of people
there's
on the mission.
many of us that have gone through very similar things. Like I said, we wrote that book and delved deep into the whole subject because we were literally being attacked over and over, and it was a nightmare.
Your cousin wasn't too happy, was she?
No, my cousin Marshall really gave us heck for titling the book Defeating the Archons. She said, you're going to really piss them off and things are going to get bad. You need to take that title off there. And we didn't listen, and whew, boy, we were in for some stuff.
Well, I'm not going to say that word anymore. So I got enough stuff.
Yeah. But like we said, and like Deb said, and like we all said, you have control over it. Don't let them think that they control you.
Oh, I'm a control freak, RJ. That's why I don't like these things. Just, yeah.
Raise the vibrations. Don't hang on to negativity. Try to stay in a
That's a really
higher
great
place.
game plan, but that's not always the easiest thing to do. For
No,
me.
it's
Or-
No,
not.
it's not easy.
In
It's
fact,
not.
it gets harder and harder to do that at times.
Mhm.
Oh,
So
yeah,
I'm fighting it myself right now.
I think I'm just going to grab me some holy water. Start spraying that out there. If I feel like a straw's coming my way.
no, I mean it's. I always tell people when they say they got activity in their home, we always tell them light incense, get to open the blinds, and
Play some
play
music,
the music you
dance,
like, and
sing.
just keep it positive.
Yeah, because they can't survive in a positive
And
atmosphere.
vibration.
We're not saying it's easy.
No,
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 I'm
no.
thinking I'm in big trouble with positive attitude. I will try my best.
That's all we can do as humans.
Yep.
Try our best. And, in all honesty, it's easier with unity if you have more than yourself fighting it.
Mm-hmm.
Even being here talking about it can help all of us.
What do you say, Deb? The other Deb. She and I are like, we'll team up together and fight it.
We'll tag team them.
Big team them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. The story that Deb gave about when she was little, dancing and to the music and everything, and then saying, "Get the hell out."
Mhm.
That's
No, she
really,
went like that.
Well, it's just
No,
like
I
when I
did
was
this.
a child.
yeah. Well, I was trying to be nice on the show.
When I was a little kid and like even through my teens when people were in my room of the disembodied kind, I could feel things in there.
Yeah.
And I had like the body lay across my body and try to crunch me into the mattress and the whole 9 yards. I would turn on my light and that would just the light in my room would help that go
Yeah.
away.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that helps. Yeah, I've had that experience where they came around the bed and held me down. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't talk.
Yeah, it's not pleasant.
No.
But,
Yeah.
Maybe it's like instinctual, or we already know we're supposed to do that as far as elevate it. Elevate
Somehow I
something,
pulled out
even
of
if it's turning a light on to dispel some of that.
my problems. I couldn't even move. I just,
Yeah.
I had to just,
They told my mom I had night terrors, but I was awake. I wasn't sleeping when they happened because I was an insomniac my whole life. I never slept, ever, hardly at all.
you know what? This was in broad daylight too. I was taking a nap.
They like to sit on you.
Oh yeah, I could hardly breathe.
Mm.
All right. Well,
Anyway.
that's all we have for tonight.
Okay.
A big thank you to
you.
guys and to the person that was regressed for sharing
Yeah.
her story and her experience.
Yes.
And hugs to her.
Mm-hmm.
I'm holding her in my
I feel
heart.
bad for her a lot, actually.
I'd like to meet her someday.
We'll share light and screw them.
That's right. All right.
There's more positivity.
Yes. Love you
Everyone
all.
have a good
Bye.
night.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.